Yes.
For
Okay.
investigation check.
Anyone check the sound? How does it look like? We're good?
Testing.
So
1 2 1 2. I think we're good. I think we are good to start.
1 2
Okay.
3.
Then welcome back to the world of Tethir, and specifically to one of its darkest parts, as the party called the Power Rangers last time has ventured deep, much deeper than they thought, inside of the pit of malice, and has encountered numerous foes, and the latest encounter didn't turn out to be as pretty as they would usually expect. So since we were coming back from a break of 3 weeks, I'll give you a short recap of what happened last time, and then we proceed. So as you ventured to the very ground floor, you had a choice what to do with the purple worm. You have a few moments to decide on your tactics. The fight endured, and Bob used his newly acquired mask as artifact first time, summoning the Spider Master, Neogi Master, to your aid, as well as summoning one more Spectral Sword as a by-product of his magical artifact. As you successfully incapacitated the worm several times, caused it a lot of damage, you could see that it's not the first wounds that this beast has recently encountered, and after really severe health losses, the purple worm retreated, and you continued on exploration. You decided not to go to the chamber where the dead of the were buried, and you decided to proceed to the main hall. You got to the two statues of Asimon, and Bob, using his magical vision, identified that there are certain magical effects you should be careful about, right? But before turning back, he also triggered them, causing you to have an interaction with the Guardians, as well as having an interaction with Brados, one of the fallen generals, which is currently entombed in the Shield of Defender of Farvald. After that, you proceeded through, and you saw the tomb, the second tomb of the Great Equalizer, currently being completely empty and completely drained of all the soul and any other magical energy in there. You spent there some time, you had a rest. You also, unscathed, used your newly acquired pickaxes to collect some of the energy crystals, soul crystals, which are currently empty, which caused quite a lot of noise. And as you decided to depart from the hall, midway you were ambushed by somebody looking like elves, but with a way darker skin. It was the first time when you were fighting the skilled enemy, and the fight was a massacre, and a lot of damage has been done, but the enemies had the element of surprise, and that fight turned out quite ugly. In the very end, when only Bob was left standing, he was addressed as a meat, and he was offered to give up. He gave up, and soon after, all three party members were two of your compatriots were stabilized but incapacitated. All of you got the manacles on your hands, and later on, you were all. There were the attackers which you encountered. There were several of them. There was a commander. There was a mage. There was a priestess, and there were several soldiers escorting them. Before the Bob lost his consciousness with the hit of the commander, Bob shouted praise the Irene and was self-identifying as an Irene follower in the presence of Drow. And yeah, the party has been seized, restrained, and the last thing, Bob, as your consciousness was going off, it was the corridor which recently the Purple Worm came from, as the group of Drow, keeping the quite a strict formation, were returning back the same way, deeper below. So that was a short recap of what happened last time. Let us begin. A short interlude. You're all carried on the backs of the male soldiers. Currently, only you, Bob, is regaining half of your consciousness. You see how lifeless bodies of Rafe and Farwald are being carried without much of attention, sometimes being scratched by the wall or by the ceiling when the tunnel suddenly takes turns left, right. But you notice that the general direction of the whole procession is going deeper and deeper and deeper. Please roll for survival.
We're already deep. The deepest.
Do I have some like restrained status or something else, or paralyzed or petrified?
Restrain.
Restrained. Okay.
Right, so I'm restrained, I don't have to roll. That should be fine.
17.
As for the next several hours, as you're being shaken, being carried by the back without much of the care, you notice that periodically the commander is barking the orders, the one that was whipping not only you, but also his own soldiers during the battle. He's barking orders, and the soldiers seem to be kind of like in a rush, quietly disappearing further on. Somebody is going back ahead, so you had to actually turn your head quite a few times to keep on the movement. Because of that, you got a few hits, but you still kept on your observations. With your roll, you also noticed that the commander of the group of the fighters, he seems to be quite angry, and his character is, you can call it wild, and when he is directing it towards his subordinates, like a soldier and a mage. But whenever he is addressing the priestess, which is following in basically in the center of the group, right behind you, you notice that his voice and his manners change dramatically. And he is not, his manners and his face expressions, and even the voice in a language which you don't understand, changes to the calmer.
I mean, the priestess doesn't look like Irene priestess. At all.
Let's be clear by now that no.
I think they're pretty much not in favor of
it. I knew she was there.
If you look at the maps and lore channel, this is how the priestess looks.
The last.
Okay. Yes, the last one. So she has this white robe with a cape, something like standing up as horns or
really
claws.
Nice. We could be friends.
Looking quite gothic. Very gothic. Yes, unfortunately, you, Ray, cannot see it as you are still unconscious. Bob, as you're trying to keep track of time and your positioning, soon you feel completely lost in the whole direction, as there were multiple turns and multiple rooms you were passing by. You notice that the current tunnel was periodically changing its architecture. Sometimes it was completely the same as the pathing that the Purple Worm used to bury through. And sometimes you were passing through large open area underground areas where in some places you could even see something that resembled liquid. Maybe it was water, maybe it was something else. collecting, slowly dropping from the floors above. You got a few drops on you as the humidity is slowly increasing.
This smells like I don't know, some corpse rotten meat, or it doesn't smell like anything.
As you currently try to smell the environment, you feel this intense sense of sweat as you're basically smelling the neck of the drow soldier who is currently carrying you. And it's hard for you to say any other smells as of this moment. Some time passes and you notice that Rafe and Farwell are starting to get back to their consciousness. So Rafe and Farwell, you are back to your senses. You find yourself being carried on. Only Rafe has a dark vision. You have a better view what's happening around. Farwell, you basically see as much as Bob. Rafe, as you are raising your head from the back of the drow that's currently carrying you, your eyes are immediately meeting with the eyes of a priestess.
Okay. Do I know her? No. I might recognize her from the fight, right? So. Does she do anything?
She looks at you attentively. She notices that Farwell is awake, but she is mostly watching you. Yeah, what do you do? You're currently being carried in the dark tunnel.
Well, I don't want to be crushed.
Into the unknown direction. So if you think about formation, what you can currently see, so imagine there's 3 soldiers carrying you in a line. Right behind them, there is a priestess who is walking here. And a significant distance back from a priestess, there is a mage. Currently, you cannot see the commander as he's somewhere ahead, but you can hear his orders being marked. Yes, would you like to do something?
Yeah, I would love to talk, if we could talk. But I'm a little bit careful because we're carried, right? So it could be dangerous if they don't want us to be conscious and they just would hit our heads so that we would be unconscious again. But can I see Farwell's face? Like,
you turn to your side and you see these bruises of a warrior who has recently been slashed and punched, and yeah, he doesn't look healthy. Farwell, you notice the gaze of Rafe addressed to your direction.
Okay. Do we want to try to talk with facial expressions?
Okay, yeah, we can try, like. Wait, my hands are manacled, right? So I cannot move them. Are my feet manacled too?
You're basically kind of a hog-tied. You are being a package to be carried.
Yeah. Well, I don't have much to say.
Well, I mean, they would really like to know why we were captured, why, if we weren't really like disturbing people, we didn't steal anything, did we?
Yeah, but wait, I mean, do we speak their language? Not really.
I mean,
but
we can try to speak normal.
I remember I was speaking Elvish to them, and this kind of worked because they answered, I think, and I understood.
I think, yeah, you were still conscious back then when Bob heard the first attempt to communicate, and it was in the Elvish, but it was a very rusty Elvish of a person who didn't use it much, but could still communicate somehow.
I mean, probably they hate elves, right? I mean, they're drow. So I
So the
think we did
drow, the
everything.
drow, the drow are elves, but they're a special kind of elves.
Yeah, and I don't think they're like their, how to say, they're extroverted, friendly, sun-loving counterparts that walk on top of Earth because they feel like the opposite. So basically, what we should not do is mention Irene and speak Elvish, but speaking Elvish is our only way to communicate. Oh yeah, and we did both
Wait,
prior to the fight.
we haven't tried. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, the one
I mean, okay, we
giving
have
up.
not much to lose.
Okay. I'll try to speak.
Do you speak Elvish?
No, no, in common.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
in
maybe.
negotiation, right?
Okay, yeah, right.
Try to
I mean,
understand the
then,
context if they would not ignore me. But since I
yeah.
noticed that the priestess was looking at me, maybe I'll try to talk to her.
Yeah, yeah. You seem to capture her attention.
I can try. I mean, I'll smile to her. Hello, ma'am. Oh, I can't move my hands up. Hello, ma'am.
You can try to wave with your facial features.
Yeah.
Wink at
I'm
her.
trying not to look like a deformed person, but like a polite person that smiles, like formally. Right. Yeah.
So as you are saying hello, she's now stopped looking around and she's staring directly at you.
Can you understand me? Did the expression change?
As you are pronouncing the sounds, you feel that there is a sudden hit from the soldier somewhere into your waist from above. And the moment this happens, you see how she barks something in the language, and the hand, which was just about to hit another time, kind of freezes in the air and slowly goes down. And the formation kind of gets a bit broken. Bob and Farwell, you're kind of being carried a bit further. Meanwhile, the soldier is kind of slowing down a bit as you're being carried closer, almost to the face of the priestess.
Answer. Can you not, if you are understanding me, maybe if you don't want to talk? No, thanks. Oh my god. And do you think we can discuss this situation somewhere? I mean, I know we've been captured. That's okay. But I'd like to talk about situations.
As you're addressing this, this is the first time you would hear her speaking, because even during the fight, she was keeping her silence. She was in the back line, and now she's basically face to face towards her, and she's talking with the impression of like somebody who has absolute power, somebody who is not used to any obstacles on the way, somebody who doesn't wait for answers, somebody who demands them, being very authoritarian.
Yeah, she can ask me something, I can answer.
She says in common.
Yes.
The time for questions He's not yet arrived.
Oh. I mean, we're patient. That's okay. We need to get to some place, right? And there we can talk. Sure, I'll wait. I'll wait. Thank you.
Farwald, please roll for survival or perception.
Yeah, let's go for survival. Great. I have
What
a
is
6.
that? 6?
A 6. Mm-hmm.
Started bad. Okay.
As you're looking around, trying to catch the sense of direction, general direction, you notice that one of the soldiers, who is walking way behind the mage, the last person visibility, he is currently carrying some of the items that seems to be belonging to your party members. You specifically recognize the blue carnival mask.
Okay. Okay. What did it do? Okay. So, looking around. Okay, so noticing that our items are over there, do I feel that any of my items are still on me? Or are they like kind of all taken away?
As you're trying to self-reflect, your armor is currently still on you, and probably the droll which is carrying you has the most problems with that. But if you're thinking about anything that has been hidden in your pockets, like potions or letters or any other supplies that you would use in for the dungeon, currently they're being stripped away from you.
And the person carrying our belongings was the last one of the group, correct?
He is currently on the very right. He's going right by the wall, and you were going in this formation of 3 as all together. Now currently Rafe is closer to the back of the group. You're on the same level with Bob, and this is the first time you actually can meet with your eyes with him.
So, looking at Bob, is he alright? Like, does he have his eyes open, or what's
as
his
you're
state?
looking at his physical conditions, you notice that he is a beautiful black and white robe, which he has been using since the memorable chess tournament. Has definitely seen some damages and dirt and blood on it. That would definitely could use some laundry or prestidigitation in this manner. You see that he has a few bruises, but he is definitely in a way better shape than you feel yourself already.
But is he awake? Is he conscious?
Bob? No sound?
I'm trying to recall the lore about history and past events to remember if draws have like a matriarchy where like the women are more important than men, and that would explain maybe the behavior of the commander.
Bob, you get inspiration for that, and
Already have one.
yeah,
Okay.
I think
give
that's
it
the
to
rule.
me. Okay.
yeah,
That's
that
the rule.
Ah,
Either you
yes, I
have
can
none
give
or
it
you
to
have all.
someone. I remember we discussed it. I could give it to someone.
They cannot be
So-
accumulated.
No, the one per player. It's not like one of you earns it and just pass it to the next player. Nah, it's individual. So,
Oh,
Bob,
okay. Sorry.
as you're trying to recall your behavior and try to use your intelligence to combine the facts and observation together, You think about the times of studies back in the university when you were discovering different races and their culture and religions. You think that in your memory you find some information. You find some memory that droll society is quite matriarchal, where female take a major role in everything, and males usually serve as slaves or entertainment.
Hey, but and in this party, the only female is the priestess, or
Correct.
anyone else?
Correct.
Hello.
Yeah,
Correct. Okay.
Correct. Yes.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yes.
Might explain why Rafe, she talked to you.
Wasn't it?
Farwell, you observing Bob, you see that he has this flash of the insight of genius on the face of Bob. Sometimes happens, but then it quickly, as he realizes in which position he is currently now. You notice that the soldier currently goes further on to your group, and you are now being carried further. You hear a few more orders from the commander, and you see how one of the soldiers is currently running all the way through back to the back, and he disappears somewhere behind the guy who is currently carrying your stuff. As you proceed, you're being quite shaken. It's not comfortable at all. It's quite heavy for the guys. The smell is stale, awful. Rafe, that's definitely not something that you are used to. And the path continues. As the road continues, you are trying to keep track of the pathing, but it's fairly impossible with the limitation of the vision. And the timing, it seems it could have been 3 hours, it could have been 8 hours. It was equally undistinguishable from each other. However, after some time, you hear the exclamations in the same language that you've heard the drow talking. And after one of the turns, you enter the area, which has certain fortifications on it. You see some barriers, you see some archer shields installed in there, and as you're proceeding on, you find yourself in something that resembles a camp or a temporary fort, if you might say. The main thing which kind of makes it distinct from the one that you have seen on the surface is that the lights here are primarily used only at the campfires which are used for cooking. Other than that, there is none. And even though they are very, very very dim, they are hardly burning. They keep them quite dark. As you're passing through the middle, you notice there are at least a few people on the lookout on the different levels. You notice even one of them standing on the ceiling, just similar way as during the ambush for you next to the tomb of the Great Equalizer. The commander is giving some more orders, and the soldiers obey. You are being brought through the center of the camp, which actually all of you can roll for, I think, perception. Please tell me your rolls.
19.
18.
2. Yeah, Bob, you feel like, this is not the place for living, and you would like to stay here. And for you, Farwell, and for you, Ray, you notice that the whole area that you have just passed, it doesn't look like somebody who stayed in a camp overnight. This place looks to be frequently visited. It has certain fortifications in here. It has some structures even built in. And as you're closing on the structures, you find yourself being thrown into the metallic cell, which is maybe 3 on 4 meters with metallic bars. You're being thrown all together. You notice there are at least 5 of the similar cells built around the small, like kind of not bay, but just by the wall of this cavern. And you notice that there are certain shadows or figures inside of those cells as well. As the 3 soldiers just throw you into your cell, you notice that finally comes the 4th one, which is currently carrying all your stuff. And he is dropping it approximately maybe 10 meters away from a cell in the pile. You notice that in this pile there is somebody else's items as well. You notice a few swords. You notice some quivers with arrows. But yeah, it's a pile of items. He's thrown it, and he's like, and as he's looking at your direction, he's making this like his smile, like of a person who has just been offended, but he will have his own revenge. As he was just carrying your items all along. And yeah, he drops it, and he sits next to a small wooden bench. Now
did
for
he drop the items again?
Approximately, basically he's sitting next to that pile, and in the area next to the cells, you're currently in the cells.
How far are those items from
10,
our cell?
10 meters.
10 meters, okay. 30 feet.
Yeah, 30 feet.
Okay.
Yes, this is the first time you're currently basically left alone, and yeah, you're currently on a 3 on 4 meter cell. 3 sides of it are metallic bars. The 4th one is the wall of the cave you're currently in. The light is very dim, very dark, quite dark. Just a few dim lights from the cooking stoves or of a kind around.
Any sources of water?
As you're passing through the place, good question actually.
I mean, draws eat, like, generally, right?
Yes, they eat.
I know elves don't really need to eat, they like sleep, but is it the same with the draws, that they restore their energy by meditating?
Yes.
Okay.
So
they're not gonna
you
sleep.
find yourself in the surrounding, which looks something like this. I'm gonna send it in a second to the appropriate channel.
Okay.
There is a massive amounts of scattered stone and different other debris. There seem to be maybe some minor sources of light, but they definitely don't come from fire or any other natural means that you could think of at this moment. Yes, so you're currently left in the cell for yourself. What would you like to do?
And talk. We're
Yeah.
together, right?
Yes,
Okay.
you're all thrown in the same place.
Hey, is everyone okay? I mean,
I don't know. I
So-
have a death saves on. I don't know what's my HP at all.
I mean,
On my character sheet.
I think you shouldn't have. Probably you have 10 HP. Put it to 10.
Okay. So, okay, good. All good. I mean, I'm okay.
yeah.
We don't have any. Are we still manacled even inside the cage? They
Yes.
didn't. They unlocked us? Oh no, they didn't.
Yes.
Hmm.
But pretty strong. We could like break it now.
Rafe, as you're trying to check how powerful the manacles on your hands are, you all hear this metallic screeching of the metallic chains on each
And
other.
then I'll stop. Because I know that if I hear it, then everyone else also
Yes.
hears it. So
You feel that they kind of very toughly grab your wrists. So, and they are going kind of closely together. So if you would like to do something, you need to basically move both of your hands at once. Yes, this is the situation with your hands. So
Is there a lock on our cage? Is it locked at all? Or is it just open door?
no, each cage is locked. Yes.
So looking around, is there someone like a guard who might be holding all the keys or so?
As you're looking around, you notice that the commander has just returned back he's passing by. He is pointing to the cell's direction, but it doesn't go. You see that it's not in your cell, but it's the cell to the left of you, somewhere there. And closest, you notice the same soldier that was carrying your items. He is currently basically the closest person to you from any other drones. The only visible. He seems to be on the guard duty. You notice him actually starting to kind of play around first with legs. He is kind of throwing the items left and right. Then he is grabbing one of his hands into the pile and starts maybe looking around at stuff.
Rafe, do you still have the bag?
Nope.
apparently we don't have anything.
Nope. As this happens, you notice that the guard is carrying your bag from the pile, and he is kind of turning it all upside down. Rafe, please tell us what was in the bag of holding.
But he cannot access that stuff, can he? I thought only the...
Can he? Because he doesn't know what he needs to take from it.
Exactly.
So the bag of holding is not an individual item. Anyone who has possession of it, basically,
But you
uses
need
it.
to have an idea
But I
of what
thought,
to
like,
retrieve from
yeah,
the bag.
like you would put your hand inside it and say, okay, give me money or whatever.
So as a person who is currently holding it, you would need to know what's in there. Because the
And
bag
it
doesn't have alignment or loyalty. It's
Yeah,
it's
but
a
the guy
magical
isn't
item.
saying what he wants to pick.
Exactly,
So
he
if
doesn't know
he
what to
just
pick.
turns it upside down, then nothing should fall because he doesn't know what he wants to get.
But you know, there can be a command like extract all.
I don't know that.
So Rafe, please tell us what was in the bag.
Don't remember because it's now empty on my side. But okay, I had like one greater healing potion, and I think I still had miracles maybe.
Ding, ding, ding.
I think there were some ropes.
A
Right?
rope. There was the deck.
Oh shit.
Falls down to the ground.
The money.
The bag with the coins of Tandoori,
I am the
Pirates.
pirate.
Slashes, and this is the first thing that he is actually inspecting closer.
Yeah. What else?
Something else?
Was there some dynamite?
Ah, yeah, I still had like, what, 5 or something like that? I think it's on the list.
Falls down and explodes? No?
I wish. Should I use some
He's-
cantrip? Like, okay, no.
Do you want?
No.
I mean, I don't know. Should we try to escape the situation? Because I feel like even if we make it outside of the cage somehow, then we're still half dead and there's half a camp of drow. I'm not sure if we can take them. I mean, it's not like we
I
can sneak up on
okay.
them.
Bob, please roll for investigation as you're trying to look around.
Oh, Irene will help me to do that investigation check.
As you're trying to call for help of Irene, nothing happens.
What do you mean nothing happened?
That's what I mean.
Uh,
It doesn't work.
You mean no magic works? Magic
it's
isn't
2
working.
plus 13.
So,
So
15.
Yes.
As this is the first time you're kind of being stable on your feet, you're trying to look around and see what is happening. You notice that in the nearby cell, which is on the left of you, you see at least 2 light elves and 1 dwarf, and also a fire genasi. So there are at least 4 creatures in the cell. They look quite malnourished and they looked quite weak and tired and hairy and dirty, and somebody who was victim of torture. As you're continuing your investigation towards the deeper into camp, this is for the first time you actually notice something that you didn't see before. You notice at least several drow lying on the ground who seem to be needing medical attention. You notice that they have wounds, they have bandages recently applied to them. So you notice at least 5 of them. They seem to be equipped the same way as your soldier capturers, but they are quite injured. They're currently recovering from something.
They look like they've been whipped by the commander, or there's a different type of wounds.
With your investigation, or what was it, 15?
Yeah.
That's, I mean, since you have seen whip in action, you don't see whip wounds, but you see something that has been of the magical impact, magical influence of a kind.
Okay.
But from the distance, you're not able to identify what exactly it is.
And going back to my magic, I mean, is it not working? Why would Irene not answer my questions, to say?
Bob, please roll for Arcana.
That I will roll less than 5. 1 plus 13. That's why you get expert on Arcana.
1 plus 13. I love these rolls. Wait, we didn't see what was written on the t-shirt on the bottom. I could only see the top part.
Guess
I'll die.
Good.
Yeah.
Good start.
So,
investigation rolls.
You feel that even though your knowledge of magic and everything that you have acquired over the years is still within your head, somewhat the access to actually performing it is being blocked. You feel panic for some seconds, being completely cut off from something that made you special from the rest of the plebs. But yeah, after a bit of time, you regain your composure.
Brave, do you still have your powers with you?
Like, if I can do any magic?
Yeah.
What can I try? Mage Hand.
Rafe, as you're trying to cast the Mage Hand, you feel that this source of energy, this inner spark of fire within you that you were always addressing, and you felt it was always full of energy, always full to be used, just waiting the time to be unleashed. you feel that as if the door that was leading to that secret chamber of magic energy is now locked.
So nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay. So I'm taking a close look at the manacles we're wearing. I mean, do they seem kind of not normal? Maybe like made out of material that impedes people from using magic or so?
Farwell, as you are seeing the reactions of Bob and Ray, and as you're trying to look at the manacles and the light, you're trying to kind of move them around, you notice that on the inner side of them, there are certain runes, which have been done on the inner part of the manacle, which completely touch your skin.
Damn. Okay, so we can't even destroy the runes. At least not easily.
So, as
Wait, I'm just wait. I just want to
yes,
try to So the cells they are close to the wall, right?
yes, correct.
So
One of the walls is a cave. It's a stone wall.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going towards the stone wall and trying to conjure one of my packed weapons, but I conceal everything with my body so that no one might actually be able to see. And just for a very brief moment to see if that works, because that's not typical magic.
Please roll for stealth.
Ah, wrong character. Go low. Oh god.
What is that?
It's a
Is it
6.
with disadvantage?
6?
Yes, because I have my armor.
Uh,
I know, wait, that armor should give me disadvantage, but on
If you're trying
when
to
I'm trying to
see, yeah,
conceal
this is
myself
not a
from.
disadvantage. This is just a normal.
Okay, then it was a 17, the other roll. It was
Okay.
17 and
very
6.
strong.
Phew, not yet dead.
You all can see that Farveld is going closer to the wall and keeping his hands close. He is for a brief moment turns all the way with his face to the wall. Farveld, which weapon?
Because I want to keep it like small, it's just like for now it's just a dagger. Like a small short dagger which I can easily conceal.
As you're turning around, covering your face, your hands completely, you see how the dagger of your choice conjures in your right hand.
Oh, beautiful.
But
Nice.
when you're trying to think about the sources of magic for other spells, there seems to be blocked. Bob, you notice how the guard, which has previously been looking at your direction and then looking at the pile, he's taking something from the pile and he starts investigating it. He takes the deck of cards in his hands and he smirks. And let's go on a short break.
Okay.
Why would a draw be interested in deck of cards when there's like
Well,
3,000 gold on the ground? mark one of
So
each.
we are back on the stream. There are several questions about the usage of the packed weapons. So if you conjure 2 of them, I would rule that I think it would work if you can try to pass it, but it doesn't make the other person proficient with it. And if he is going at any moment within further than 5 feet away from you, it's going to vanish.
But he has 1 minute. It vanishes after 1 minute on a distance higher than 5 feet away from me.
I would say if you pass it to another person, it vanishes at any moment that's further than 5 feet away from you.
Okay.
So this is how I would rule. Yes, about the spell slots, you didn't get any rest, you didn't have a long rest, so your HP and spell slot should be exactly the same as after the last fight. Yes. You all see, not all, Bob, you see that Parvelt has successfully conjured the dagger, and he immediately kind of like ends it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm hiding it somewhere. I hide it like in my boots, in one of my boots, for now.
Yeah,
So
you
that
know
it's not
that
visible,
it's
but
a throwable weapon. Yeah, it's, everything works. No dagger, you're proficient with that. Bob, you could see that guard. He was playing around with a pile of items which was lying in front of him, and he found this. He was holding it for some time in his hands, and then you can see him looking left and right, and looking also above him, which is unusual. And only after some moments, he has opened the deck and he is about to pick a card.
Does it look like he knows what he's doing? Like
Does
he
he
recognizes
decide how
the.
much?
Do you want to say something?
Rafe,
I mean, do
for
we want
you
to draw a card?
it doesn't look like anything. As he is reaching his hand toward it.
Cannot see anything.
Rafe,
Like
tell
the
him to
one with
stop.
the dervish.
Okay, Rafe,
Stop.
tell me, top or bottom?
No, tell him to stop. You're a woman. Maybe he listens to you. Tell him some lie.
It's already happening. Rafe, top or bottom?
Top.
Top. Okay. Bob, please tell me, should I cut the deck or not?
No. Should not.
Okay.
DM really wanted to use the cards finally.
I know, and
Yeah,
then
I
he
know.
created all of these things so that he could use them.
Yeah, you know, there was a gun on the scene, and he has to shoot.
Farveld, please tell me the number from 1 to, I think it's 18?
18?
Yeah,
Not
somewhat
more?
like this.
Oh. 17.
Oh my god, really? So it's almost like from the bottom, right?
He just dies, or something like that.
You notice how
No,
he picks a card and looks at it. Okay, I need to check my notes what it means. Wait a second.
Can you show it to us, like how it looks?
Yeah, would be interesting.
No, you cannot see. Don't see.
We
What?
didn't. We have to
Because
pick ourselves to see.
do we want to talk to the guy?
He doesn't speak.
Do we want to talk to the
He's just a male draw, like a warrior.
You made a mistake.
And he hates us because he had to carry our weapons.
Apparently it's something good that's happening for him.
No, it doesn't look good.
No, it
No,
looks good for him, which means it's bad for us.
No, it looked like
Yeah.
surprise, but it doesn't look like he is happy.
Okay.
No, I think something good.
Ah,
Something explodes, and we can escape.
So you can see how he's holding this card. He's opening it and he's looking at it. And then in the next
level up.
moment, this card starts to disappear, like falling into particles. And yeah, there is nothing more left in his hands. And you see that he is still looking at his hands, as if he is looking at them for the first time. He is looking ahead of you, and he's looking at the cells on the left, the cells of the what's two elves, one dwarf and one fire genasi. And then
Yeah.
his eyes slowly turn towards you. Rave, please roll for insight.
God.
20.
Became God.
20?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay. Okay, so you see that the drow, who has a skin of like a dark charcoal color, is actually getting whiter and whiter in his skin, like getting pale as much as he could, as if his face is losing the blood. Like he's just getting pale as he's looking. He's, with your insight, with the amount of your insight, you would think that this is a person who is like currently in shock and in extreme, like something has just exploded for him, but internally. Something has changed in his eyes and in the world as he sees it. He's not the same person he was just a minute ago. That's your insight. Everybody else says.
But as a person, as a creature, or do I sense that he is not gonna be a drow anymore, but something else?
He didn't change physically as a. He's still a drow, but it's just as a person. And exactly as this happens, you hear this barking, shouting of Sarah from the commander, and the deck of cards is falling from his hands back into the pile. And you notice two drows walking towards the cell with the elves and the drow, and they are opening the cell, and they're taking out two light elves who are kind of not really even resisting. They're just being thrown ahead, being punched. They're passing approximately maybe 7-10 meters away from the cell, and they're thrown to the ground. And two men who were just sent by the commander, they hold them by the kind of a, you could call it a collar, but not really collar, but just a part of here. I forgot the neck. Yeah, but basically by the neck. They keep him straight, keeping them by the knees, because without that, they would just be falling and lying on the ground. And the next moment, the commander looks at the guardsman who was just holding the deck, and he says something to him. And the guardsman is standing up. He's taking out his one of his swords. Remember, they were fighting with the two swords. He's taking one of his swords, and the two of his comrades, they are kind of lowering the necks of the elves in front of him.
Sacrifice.
The guardsman is. You notice that his hands are shaking as of now. And he no longer has this beastly smile that he had, this anger. He's raising his sword, above his heads. And nothing happens. You see that this hesitation of his is kind of, you see the two comrades who are currently holding the prisoners, they're kind of looking at each other, like, the commander also notices it and barks something to him, and you see how both of the guardsmen, they're taking the short daggers and they're cutting the throat of two elves, ear to ear. Both prisoners falling down to the guard still stands with his swords up. The commander comes to him and punches him right into the torso, shouts something at him, and he is being escorted out of the scenery, and a different guard stands currently next to the cells. The dwarf and fire genasi, they were observing the death of their comrades in silence. This whole scene took maybe 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and then the location is again still and stale. What do you do?
I would like to make deduction based on the clues I have.
Which clues?
On the clues I have.
Which are?
The manacles,
Okay.
the steel bars, the people with other manacles around me, trash on the floor. To determine the weakest point of manacles, so I can somehow break them. Like, you know, if you
Wait,
can
wait a
like
second, stop.
you
There was some noise coming from your mic.
testing.
Okay, now it's fine. Keep on.
Some static.
Yeah, some static.
Okay, I didn't hear anything.
I wanna use my intelligence power to find out how to break the manacles using the tools that I have at hand. James Bond style, you know, like, I don't know, lock picking with a piece of trash or something like that, or finding a weak spot in the lock.
Can't you lockpick? Aren't you proficient in lockpicking?
Yes, but I don't have thieves tools, so
I would
How about
say
it
that
there?
would be, if you're trying to inspect something, that would be an investigation.
of course, because I'm trying to make deduction based on the clues. It's exactly 22.
Mm-hmm.
We'll deduct that it's impossible to break.
As you're looking at the construction and the way how they were created, built, and forged, those manacles, you could think that this item is probably magical, so usual means of, like, if you're trying to shoot a crossbow bolt through it, try to break it, that something like this wouldn't work. If you had blacksmith tools and basically the tools from the blacksmith, maybe he could help you out. If you think of picking the lock and trying to release yourself, a sufficient tool would help you a lot with that. You could also always get back to the brute force, but that has never been your strong side.
Okay. A tool, then. Do you have any tools, guys?
You also observe that the dwarf and fire genasi nearby cell, they don't have the same manacles as you.
Ah.
I mean, they
So
already
they're no
been
magic
questioned.
wielders. Hmm.
Can I look at my party members' manacles? Do they, the same model?
Yes,
Same model.
same one. Bob?
So
Harvard, do you have
between
any lock picking thing? Okay.
no, not at all. I can give you dagger, but
Farvald.
looking
Have you
at the
tried to-
manacle,
Bob, also
like-
one more way, if you try to cut your hand off.
I know about that, yes. No,
so
I've read
between
we can.
manacle and my wrist, how much space would there be?
They're currently quite tight. If you try to put like an edge of a knife or dagger or a stiletto, that would fit. But if you try to put like a spear or some bulky weapon, that wouldn't go through.
So would I manage to kind of reach with my dagger between my wrist and the manacle and then scratch the inside of the manacle? Like in order to scratch out the runes that are there?
You can definitely try. But
Without killing myself, I mean?
how is your surgeon skills?
Non-existent? I don't see
Medieval
that
surgeon.
skill. No, but I mean, like, realistically speaking, could I try without cutting myself?
Probably not.
I mean, I don't want to bleed to death there. That's not worth it.
Wait, who of us has the thinnest hands? That has the
Me?
most loose manacles? Is it Ray?
Right.
It should be me.
Um,
Well, no, actually,
Probably.
it could be
I
Farwell
would
because
think
he
it
looks
would
like
be it would be Bob.
Really?
Yeah, he's the
That it was
least
like-
strong person from you
Okay.
all.
Okay.
I have +0, so okay. I mean, maybe I can guide Farvald to do it on my manacles, because using my arcane knowledge, I can see where are the runes exactly, or maybe I can find the key rune that only needs to be broken. You don't need to scratch all the runes. Maybe it's enough to just scratch one of the runes on the internal side, and then I can point forward, because he has full control, and I can show him where to.
And I have an idea because
I also have a lot of HP still.
Okay. So, DM, is that correct that the runes are like on the inside of the manacle that faces the main artery here? Okay.
Around, like the one
the
that you
whole
could
way
see
around.
the one that you could see was like here,
Ah,
but they are basically like all the way around on the inner side of the manacle.
so I think we can. Okay, we could try that with Bob, but we could first try it on the outer side, so that if we cut him, he doesn't bleed to death.
There are runes on the outer side also?
No.
No, and not the outer side, but the other side, like not where the main artery is.
Over here, not
right.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah, and if it works there, then maybe you can kind of twist the manacles in a way or something like this, so that it turns. Maybe you can turn your arm inside of the manacle. And then in the worst case, you would get some scratches.
I mean, looking at those people just being executed, I'm motivated to try.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to scratch the outer side.
Well, let's ask our professional spy agent, secret agent spy from the Empire of Tieflings. Did they had any training to get out of a manacle? If they get captured on the mission.
I'm not an agent. I'm only looking for adventures, but
Ray,
You were not
please-
interested in techniques.
Rave, please roll for deception.
What? Gosh, like I don't wanna say. Yeah, you
Wait,
already said
one
it.
for whom? For Rave?
Yeah.
Yes.
She doesn't sound so
Come on, even if
convincing.
I'm not an agent, though, everyone's gonna think that I am.
Man, it's a life and death situation. Like, if by any chance you are still an agent, you have any ways maybe you can bend your arms
Would I
to
know
get
about
out?
any way to do that? Other than using my strength
Uh,
to remove them and then maybe my nails?
probably.
I do. Well, then I want to remember them now.
Spy Agent 101 course, yeah.
If it happens that I'm an agent now, then it's a good situation for that.
Plot twist: Rave was an agent all along, but she didn't know.
You remember, right?
Lost the memory.
Okay, Rafe, you can roll for history
Okay.
or
And
survival.
then I will know if I had the training. Okay.
Hmm. How much you remember under stress, yeah.
I guess 20.
Oh, nice.
I see, we have like high and low rolls today. Cool. Yes, Rafe, you remember the latest time somebody told you how to free from this kind of shackles was actually
Yeah.
cutting one of your limbs, but that was a suggestion of a last resort.
Yes.
Other than that, you could of course try to impact the rooms, and if you could have something oily or like something really sticky, which would allow to kind of sneak your hand out from there, that could also help.
Has any of you had like some oil in your
Right.
backpacks that
I-
you can ask for? Like, oh, I'm so thirsty. I had like something.
I have a half plate armor, so you need oil to maintain that thing, right? And this oil should be like, yeah, that should be perfect.
Yeah, so it
should
doesn't rust.
be on my armor.
I mean, maybe, yeah, you maintained it like a short time ago,
I'm
so there's
serious.
still some oil, right?
I like the idea, but I don't think you carry the flask of oil attached to your armor.
Of course not, but it's
Maybe it's
on my
inside
armor.
because the armor is big, right?
No, it's like, I mean, I maintain my armor on a daily basis, so there should always be some oil on the armor.
Yeah, that's way bad.
Come on, that's
Okay.
a plus of creativity here.
Sure. So, Rave, you see how the flickering light reflects really well from the breastplate or half breastplate that you have?
It's a half plate armor, yeah.
Half plate
it
armor.
would be like here on the shoulders where there are like different layers wrapped above
Yeah.
each other. In between there should be something.
So should I try to like go over the armor shoulder like this and see what happens?
As
I
you're
don't know.
starting
Yeah.
to kind of like I don't know how to even describe it. You start to touch
I had permission,
Farwell's
okay?
armor, trying to collect as much oil as possible, basically rubbing yourself, your arms and hands against his armor. You all were so mesmerized by this action and creativity that only now you hear how the door behind you in the cell has opened. Ding!
That just stop.
And you see how you notice that there is a priestess, there is a commander,
Hey.
and there is two soldiers standing behind her. And one of the soldiers is bringing in a small like a seat, small bench for her. She sits there, and you notice that she's looking primarily at you, Rafe, and she has this like smirk on her face as she sees that you're trying to remove your hands and kind of like put away from him. She tells you in common, I didn't think that, considering the circumstances, this meat would be attractive. And she addresses you, Rafe.
What meat?
I guess that
she
would
look,
be me.
No, I mean, this is my group of friends.
Are they your servants?
Yeah, I'm the lead, of course.
Yeah, she's not even addressing Bob or Harvard.
Yeah, they're they help me, and we go through the world, checking new places. Today it was here. It looks like a mistake. But yeah,
So-
they follow me. It was probably my bad decision just coming here.
There's never a bad decision. It's their fault.
Yeah, I was the one that proposed coming here, so in that sense, yeah.
So, who are you? She asks.
Yeah, I'm a princess. I know it doesn't look like that. I kind of rebelled from the princess life, and now I like to live in a world where I can lead my people. My people are these two guys, right? Meet. But I still like to travel with them. It's fine. Just got used to them.
No.
Yeah, you're right. They've made a lot of bad decisions, but let's say that I always fix stuff for them. I wouldn't really like to lose them. I'm pretty attached.
I could see that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, they've been training just to serve me, to protect me in case that something bad happened. Yeah.
so what kind of princess are you?
I'm
What's
just
your name?
tiefling one, like my kingdom. Well, I'm Rafe. Maybe you've heard about me.
She is.
That's okay.
Your
That's okay.
kind is not a frequent visitor to our domain.
Yes. Yeah. I was a lot into adventures. My kingdom's really far, even like from the surface world that you just get going up. It's also really far from here. I'm kind of really far from home, but I really wanted to leave that place. Yeah, I was never really treated with respect.
And as you're saying this, she's quickly standing up and currently being kind of equal with your eye level. And if you're being from so far away, how did you manage to bypass the Guardians?
Guardians? What guardians?
We saw you
What
leaving the
Guardians?
tomb, which has been sealed.
There were no guardians there.
Statues.
The statues that
The wing
like
clapping people.
football Iceland.
How did we? How did we manage to pass that again?
We had the shield.
Yeah, we had
There's
the
a guy in
shield
the
and-
shield.
Mhm.
We knew the
Guy in
keyword.
the shield. Ghost in the shell, guy in the shield.
So just to remind you, the Guardians asked you to name his true name. And with the help of Bradus, he revealed you his true name, and you were let through.
Yeah. We have
Rafe,
some
what do
connections
you
with the
say?
spiritual world. We have some connections with the spiritual world.
What are those connections?
History. But of course, I don't want to talk about the shield, right? So
Please roll for
Okay.
deception.
they say if one deception was already bad, this one can be good, right?
So
Okay. So
how is it?
A 24.
Oh, that's a crit, right?
Yes.
Nice.
But she has 20.
Well, but I have a 24.
DM looks frustrated.
She is looking at you and nodding along. Maybe you could share the way how you have bypassed them, and maybe we could make a deal. Before I asked my men to extract that information from your meat first.
Why is it important for them to bypass the Guardians?
Yeah, I'll try to. Well, the thing is, like, we have the connection, we know about the history, but we were just exploring. We didn't have any purpose to like go somewhere. We just want to see what's around. We don't want to do anything else. I don't really get why that is important. How can that be of value?
We were never able to explore that part of our domain, and having something uncovered and uncontrolled is dangerous. If you're a real princess, you can understand.
And yes,
that.
but there's nothing there anymore. Looks like if there was something there, it's taken. There was nothing to see, to find.
Really?
Yes. It looked pretty like shattered. Things were broken. Nothing.
Bob, Farwell, do you do anything? Well, you're currently just standing behind basically Rafe. As she has this conversation.
We basically just got there because we had some unexpected creatures following us. Some undead creatures that I mean, we were not here to fight. As I just told you, we're just curious people. We want to see how the surface world, the underground, maybe also the sky world, whatever we can find out before we die in this really short life that we have. That's all we really care about. That's how we got this far, by running away from these creatures that don't seem so friendly.
I see there is like a tongue twisting of the amount of conversation Rafe tries to pull through. With the roles it stays, she doesn't pursue this question, but as she is looking behind you, she notices that Farwell and Bob, they're standing still, and she looks at Bob and she asks you, Rafe, and what is the relation of this meat with the cursed one?
With the cursed one.
The cursed one?
Who's cursed?
Ah, Irina's cursed.
Yeah, he's been a little bit brainwashed. I'm working on my way to get weird things out of his head. But sometimes I can control that. Yeah, I know he deserves a little punishment. I don't want to kill him. Sometimes he just plays around. He knows that it bothers me when that thing is
Then-
mentioned.
So entertainment. If he
Yes.
is the truly acolyte of a ring, maybe we could also have a bit of entertainment with him.
Oh, but he belongs to me, right? Why?
Then you take the full responsibility for the meat you keep.
I mean, I'll make sure that he doesn't say that again. Yeah.
Bob, Farwell, do you do anything?
Better not.
No one asked us to do anything, so we should be silent.
Yeah, so actually, like, are there undead people that are like wandering around also like your servants? Are they part of your world?
It's me who is asking questions here.
I'm so
But
sorry.
being polite,
Apparently not.
they are not.
Okay. I would ask another question, but I can't. So
You notice
Yeah,
how the commander kind of bends down to her left ear and says something to her. She is turning her head to the left, listens to it. I think that would be enough. You'll get a full meal today for the information you gave, but that's not our last talk. And she stands up and about to leave.
okay. Will we stay here forever? I can't ask anything. Sorry. Just wondering if we're gonna stay here forever. It's just a statement, not a question.
Yeah, you don't say anything. So she turns around and leaving the cell. The commander himself locks the cell back, and he follows the priestess from the left side, from behind. The rest of the soldiers kind of scattering to different sides, and they are substituting the guy who was just standing there. A substitution of a substitution of a guardsman. You're left back to yourself in the cell.
Where did the commander go with the key? Or where did the key go? Did he give it to the person that's observing us, or did he take it with him?
He will be leaving it with a guard who is currently staying there.
How close does the guard stand to?
Same. He is by the same pile of items, about 30 feet away from you.
Using my vast history, do I know what value, what the draw value? Gold, items, I don't know. What is the, what is their wish for? Power, money?
I can give them something and then leave.
Religious? Are they fanatics?
And just don't say Aaron
again.
Yeah, we're not saying anything.
Please roll for history.
Weird people. 11. It's 2 plus 9. Never rolled higher than 5.
Okay. So you know that they are worshipping the Loth. That's a spider queen. This is basically something that they dedicate their life to. You know that they're very matriarchal. You know that they are famous for the slavery and blood sacrifices. and anyone who is kind of occasionally not on the same alignment spectrum usually becomes a target or a victim of those sacrifices among them. Historically, you know that there were elves a long time ago, but they practiced something that wasn't really accepted, like occultism, and they were outcasted too, and they went and lived underground for generations, which actually left a big mark, and they changed the appearance of their skin. This is the reason. I think with your role, what else you would know?
The religious fanatics.
Regarding their fanaticism, yes, they are quite fanatical from different ranks, especially the ones which are priestess and the one which have power in this society.
Okay. Does it look like there's a like what do you say, trail going outside of this cave? So does it look like people are being brought here and killed, slaughtered? Or it looks like the people are being taken deeper with carriages, or is there any means of transporting the cages, to say? Like,
I think you did the previous investigation role. We could use that one still. It was a while, but you definitely see that the cages currently they're made in a way of permanent.
22.
They're not transportable, which signalizes you that this camp has been here for quite some time, but it doesn't look big enough or fortified enough to claim that it's a permanent place. Rather, it's a temporarily occupied. You notice several entrances or exits in different directions from the camp. They are basically just the giant pitches of dark in the caves of the wall. You could deduct that it's probably just one of the transportation temporary points on the way somewhere to somewhere.
So even if we want to escape, we have no idea where to go. Even if we escape, take our gears, there's 5 exits. That, yeah, we don't know where to go to.
I'll be back in a second.
I think we might need the other prisoners. They might know how to escape, right? They might have an idea. Or they could maybe help in a fight. But I don't think we're gonna make it out of there by force without the prisoners.
I mean, there's the party that brought us in, and there's also the garrison people, like 5 more healing up on the floor. So there's 15 of them.
Alright.
So
wait,
in
was it 10 drow that we fought?
We fought commander, mage, priestess, and
priestess?
4 soldiers. So 7.
Okay.
And there's another 5 was beaten up on the floor, and there had to be someone guarding the cages while the main party was away. So 7 plus 5 plus another 3, 15.
But the wounds of those drow lying on the floor, I mean, they kind of... What did they look like again?
They look like a magical source, like magical inflicted. So probably... Wait, why would they had magical wounds, but the guys in the nearby cage didn't have the magical shackles?
Maybe some of the prisoners escaped who had magical powers. And that's why they decided next prisoners are gonna get magical shackles, which is us. I mean, other than that, there must be something underground which wields magic. And I wouldn't know what.
There's this basilisk still, but I thought it turns people into stone.
Well, if it appears right now and these trolls are killed, then that would be perfect.
You can ask your god to do that. Very helpful god. And we can also sacrifice them as a sacrifice.
But we need to sacrifice something that's dear to us.
Deck of cards?
Yes, we've been
Sounds like a good
passionate
sacrifice.
about that one. I just wonder what happened to the other guards. Like, first of all, did they kill him or punish him? And if not, could he be of use? Because he seemed to have like a total change of heart. Like, he couldn't kill those elves. I don't know, maybe he lost his memory, something.
I mean, the
But,
way they treat their own comrades, they're just gonna beat them. And, you know, he's just a guard. I don't know. Any idea?
This is the Skyrim music right now, is it?
Mhm.
Like, I'm just curious because it sounds so familiar. Or
yes,
maybe...
yes, it is.
I know it. Yeah, or maybe magic wounds are just like from the... I know the priestess, she cannot inflict damage, she's only healing, right? Because I thought like maybe she just tortured them for fun. Like, seems like her thing to do.
Well, if they were useless for something, then yes. That's
Maybe
what
they
I would
failed
do
the
with you
task.
guys.
We knew
Just
that all
kidding, I'm
along.
just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
actually,
kidding. I'm just
The
kidding.
evil
You know,
mastermind with us.
that
you
was
should
only for
play
the.
that role. You should play
Yeah,
that
here,
role in
here,
front
here.
of her.
Of course. Oh,
Yeah,
do you
but
want to be
like
hit?
stronger, because she might then respect you more and see you more as an equal.
Both.
I mean, you are a princess, but how does she define princess? You must be like a tough matriarch, dominant, kind of scrupulous person, and then maybe she will respect you more. And
I mean, she looks brutal
yeah,
with horns, and you have high strength.
You have horns too. What?
yeah, and we should talk to the other prisoners. And it.
Yeah, but
Farvelt.
how that the guards will notice.
Farvelt, you notice there is the shadow of a person approaching the cell, the other cell, the left cell next to you, and you notice this person currently addressing you. Can you see the picture?
It's very weird.
Second.
This is how Fire Genasi looks like.
Ah. But she's still in her cage, right?
Yes, she is kind of trying to.
Oh,
Spirit
fire
to-
genasi. And we have who here? A special magical fire tiefling.
I cannot use any magic right now, but I like fire, yes. Nice hair.
Okay, so what?
Is like would you like to maintain conversation? You would need to get closer to the wall.
Okay. Looking out for the guards. Like, is someone watching us right now?
The one guard which you currently can see in your visibility range, he is currently same looking in the pile of items lying in front of him.
Okay, so if I want to move closer, the chains would rattle, right? Or can I do it silently?
I mean, you're not forced to stay in the same place, but you could move. That would be noticeable, but as long as you're not doing anything else, it would be okay, I guess.
Okay, so I just moan like an old person and slowly walk to the other side of the cage, giving the impression that I'm tired and just want to sit down and lean next to that side of the cage.
Oh, Taylor, can you show us how you do that?
So manacled, I'd be like, like, and this moment is like, my life is over. I'm a victim. I'm meat. Like, down, spirit is down, and with that, I slowly walk over to the other side. Like, I want to lean onto something. Like, just to apparently fall asleep. And that's what I do. I lean like to that side of the cage, which is closest
As
to
you
hers.
lean towards the wall, there's this like ding clash of your metal armor onto the metal bars. The guard is immediately looking your direction, but seeing this desperation in your face and how sad, like the world of sadness, basically, yeah, on your face, he is like, haha, and he just keeps on doing whatever he's doing.
Okay.
Yo, what's your name?
The first concern in such a situation. Yo. I'm Farward. Who are you?
You can call me Gaki. I will post the name for you.
Okay.
I heard the conversation. Is she really a princess? What the hell is she doing here? Wait a second.
Right.
What's happening? Is it?
Frozen, right?
Yeah.
Am I frozen only, or everybody frozen?
No. Everybody but
Only
you.
we
You're
are
moving.
frozen, but you.
Okay. Weird. Strange. Try something. Okay. Something. It's not back. Am I back?
Loading.
Is the stream back?
So right now I'm the DM.
Oh, new DM.
Okay, now you're the DM
Oh, okay.
again. Okay. But we're still frozen.
Okay, that's weird. Okay, maybe let's just restart. I will just restart the stream.